An unpaid version of Tips with AI for making concept maps and flowcharts. Imagine for a moment you're working on the water cycle or any other thing that might require a flowchart. Often we tell ourselves we should do a flowchart of that and it'll look fantastic and the kids will understand it great. But finding the time to do so can be a challenge. So I've just jumped into what you can do on the free version of GPT. I've just got a bit of a rundown of the water cycle here, and then I've asked it to dot point it for me. So I've got something very concise. I'm going to copy that here, and I'm going to jump over to the page I am mainly talking about. This is called whimsical.com. It is certainly has a free version, and I can't imagine why anybody would use anything other than the free version. It allows you 100 AI actions and all sorts of things like that. I can't imagine ever going beyond that. So what will we have to do inside here is we create a new generate with AI after creating a new chart, and I'm just going to paste my water cycle in here, and I'm going to get it to create a water cycle chart. Now you can always get one of these from other websites and things like this. I think the only reason I chose the water cycle was because it's something that more often than not it is it's used, it just seemed to jump out at me. But I'm going to take it a step further, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to have a look at the paid version of GPT and the sort of things that we can do with the paid version of GPT. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back over here to, that was my water cycle overview. I'm just going to I'm going to do a new chat, and I don't want plugins. Plugins are going to come later on. And I'm going to grab this particular picture. Now, this is a picture from scratch of the move code that we're using in our game or analysing as a part of our lessons to find out how we can use if-else statements and all sorts of forever things and stuff like that. Basically means that depending on what arrow is pressed, the sprite will go in this direction unless they are touching that colour, and that colour is the colour of our walls. But this is a fairly complex sort of block of code. It's very difficult to understand. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a flowchart of it. In order to do that, in the paid version GPT-4, it has vision. So we can drop a picture in here and we can say, write the text code for this scratch block code. And it will analyse that particular picture, and it understands what Scratch is, and then it starts to write this code. Sometimes it comes out a bit differently, but I'm pretty happy with it. And now we are going to copy that code, and we're going to jump over into the plugin section here. We could probably just do this inside of the AI inside of Whimsical or that concept mapping thing, but I'm going to jump over here just to show you. When you pay, you get this plugin section, and the plugin section has lots of different things. I've used it for as you like, you can go forever on these things. Wolfram Alpha, very popular with me. I had a kid that required that sort of level of math understanding, and I wasn't able to produce it. A plugin store, this is the one I'm interested in today. So if you just go to the plugin store down the bottom and type in AI diagrams, you can install that one. Just click to install. There's lots of other ones that you can test out and have a look at. They're all great fun, but we're just going to go with that one. Once you've done it, you just have to tick the one you want to use and make a flowchart of this code. And hopefully she works out a beaut. Give it a second. So here it goes, started to give us our links. There is our code block. Looks pretty good to me. It's going to require a bit of a cleanup because it's still very complex. I'll show you what I did with this a little earlier. If we click on this link, it's going to take us directly over to our code inside of Whimsical. And from here, we can do all sorts of changes. We can neaten things up. It has alignment tools and all that sort of business, so you can really make these look all fancy. But I just think that the amount of time that it would have taken to produce this kind of flowchart is beyond imagining. Just while I'm here, I'll show you what this looks up in the finished product. Just jump back to my other browser here. I'll show you. This is what I ended up doing with that exact one once I had cleaned it up a little bit. And yeah, it took 5 or 10 minutes just to get everything looking all nice and all the rest of it. But I didn't change any of the connections. I just joined connections together. You can see these are all just stacked in on each other. It just makes it look a little neater and a little more palatable for the kids, and we can follow through all of the lines to see our forever loop constantly going around and all of that sort of business. Anyway, thanks for listening, and leave a like if you would like more.